pieces, and Kawasaki's run of consecutive scoring that dated back years went out the window. And once you lose major points, they're difficult to make up in the Manufacturers' Championship, because it's only the best scoring rider from each team that counts towards that Manufacturers' title, unlike the Teams Award, where it is the top 2 performing riders from each team that score in that contest. But the World Championships, the Riders' World Championship and the Manufacturers' World Championship are coming down to this final round. And at the moment, the water is coming up to your ankles. Yeah, and that gives you the perfect illustration of just how much standing water there is. That's probably on the outside of maybe the last corner, because there is a few marshals out there just wandering around. But as it is right now, it's definitely a little bit of time to get yourself cooled off at this stage for some of the super sport riders. Well, every reason to enjoy himself, Mr. Dominic Egerton, the 2021 World Champion. And why bother going back to the hotel? You're probably not going to be able to get back there anyway in these conditions, when you can just stand in the middle of the pit lane and have a wash there. Yeah, and Tommy's been in good form all the way through this season, and nice and relaxed this weekend. He's just after finishing on the podium in the super sport race. There were spots of rain for that, but nothing like what we have now. You can see for Toprak, when he made his way to the grid, he was already making his way off of it pretty quick. Yes, Emperor Penguin style, almost rushing away. And as I said previously, a little bit of acrobatics to scale the pit wall as well. But this looks to me like a mere formality. I cannot see how the track will be in conditions to be able to race this afternoon at all. These, of course, are replay images. We've long since vacated the grid. Umbrellas wouldn't even withstand it. The palm trees could barely withstand the wind, let alone the rain, and it is still coming down very heavily. And all that's happening is that the water's getting deeper and deeper. I joked about an Olympic depth swimming pool, but we're getting closer and closer. You saw just from the marshal there, the water up to his ankles. Yeah, and it is just keeping to come down at the same degree as well. You can see from these shots just how wet it is out there. And we saw when the safety car was doing its lap just how little visibility there was, especially in that run down towards turn 10. So no real chance of any change in the next while, but certainly for the superbike riders, they're going to just have to come together. They could well be able to talk, as the safety commission traditionally. We see 3 riders from the safety commission come together and make a decision about what to do. We saw that, if you think back to Laus's Ring in 2016, we had similar conditions to this. Obviously Sepang, we've had similar situations as well. Well, I know who might be the only rider who wants to make sure that something happens this afternoon, and that would be Jonathan Ray, because if the Super Pole race is cancelled, he's going to lose potentially 12 points there. Well, I remember at Assen when we had the snowstorm a few years ago in 2019, Johnny was one of the few riders that was out there saying, oh, we should be able to race in these conditions. Even with the snow, he knew it was a chance to make up points in Alvaro Bautista that year. He wanted to go out and race, and obviously in conditions like this, he's the rider with most to lose. If he misses out on a scoring opportunity this weekend, it could be curtains for his championship. Let's be honest, if the race had already got started before that rain came down, it would have practically immediately been red flagged, because people would have been going off left, right and centre. There's no way that you could have possibly continued on in this situation. I think it's, as I said, a bit of formality at the moment that presumably is being discussed behind the scenes at the highest level, but I can't see anything other than a postponement of this race, and potentially, and I do venture into the realms of conjecture,